Welcome to the WNBF UK Podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the WNBF UK Podcast with me, Sarah Glanville, as your host. Today we are speaking with a whole lot of natural muscle. It's WNBF Pro Karl Taylor and WNBF Worlds team athlete Anthony Taylor, aka the Taylor brothers. How are you guys today?
Fine, thank you. Good. Just did a push and pull session, so
You're pumped then?
yes.
I can see you pumped and ready to be here. Thank you both for joining me on the podcast. Really excited to have this conversation. I think the best place for us to start today is to take it back to the start and find out how you guys found the sport of natural bodybuilding.
We basically used to play a lot of football back in the day. Everyone played a lot of football. We was very good at it. We used to do a lot of five-side tournaments. So if you want to find us, we'd be in the park playing football, Saturday and Sunday teams, Friday and Wednesday training. So out of the 7 days, we used to do football 5 days a week.
Yeah.
And as we got older, they built a gym opposite my mum and dad's house, which was an old factory that my dad used to work in. So when the man opened the gym, he came to our house because my dad knew the layout of the building. And I was a gas engineer, so we had to find the gas pipes for him. So we made friends with the gym owner, lived opposite. I think we were the first ones. We were like the first ones in there before it was built. Made friends with him, and it was just constant.
That's where the journey started. We started in that gym, but there was no bodybuilding going on in that gym. So it was just a gym where we just loved training, so we used to go there like every day. And then we come to Emporium. And when we come to Emporium, a couple of the guys here advised us that we could probably go and do natural bodybuilding. So my brother was the first one to go and do a show. He went and done the Supernaturals WNBF. And I remember going to watch it and thinking, you know, when you fall in love with something and you see it for the first time, and I just remember getting that buzz, and I went home, I said to my missus, I said, I'm going to do some natural bodybuilding, and I really wanted to try it. And you won it. Yeah. When his first shot, he was extra shredded and he really done well. And after that day, we really haven't looked back. We just threw ourselves 100% into this natural bodybuilding and really enjoyed it. And as I said, when we used to train, we just wanted something. I was going to go and do some powerlifting. I just wanted to focus my training. I knew that I was strong, and I knew that I wanted to do something within me, through the weights, but I didn't know what. And it just happened to be natural bodybuilding. I was going to do some powerlifting, but then I thought, the guys here said to us, you can go and do some natural bodybuilding, so that's what we did. We've got a natural. I think we've probably got a natural gift because we do walk around naturally quite lean anyway. Especially when we're back.
Well, I was going to say, when I've got pictures in Cornwall when we're like 12. And we were there with 6-packs, and the older lads used to walk through the park and say, Anthony, get your 6-pack out. And I used to text for them, and I was only like 12. So we've always had quite good physiques. Hence my mum and dad. And like my mum stopped us eating meat years ago. So I haven't eaten meat. I didn't eat it as a child, and then I started to eat it again. And I haven't eaten it for 8 years. And my brother still has a bit of white meat. But I just eat fish, and I don't have dairy.
I think that's a big part of it. I feel like the reason why we were so naturally lean is because we grew up on quite a good diet.
Yeah.
Mum.
Thanks to my mother.
Yeah, thanks, Mum.
Yeah, and my dad's always pushed like a lot of Jamaican food on us, like dashi, yam, cassava, green banana, which I never used to like. Yeah. And then my mum would probably put some Yorkshire puddings in there and some sprouts, some English stuff. So we had like a Jamaican and English diet.
Yeah.
And it paid off. It really did.
Yeah. No, I think I didn't actually realise that you were still so new to the sport in terms of actually competing, but you clearly were training. How long were you training in the gym before you decided to compete?
15 years, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's been about, what, for me, like 12 years.
Yeah.
To be honest, I used to work I had a work experience at a sports centre. So I used to work there every Friday night. I used to put badminton nets out, trampolines out, and then I used to sneak off to the gym. And there's been many a time I've got caught with a 20 plate trapped on my chest.
Yeah.
Quite dangerous. But Jim is my brother. What I mean by that is, he came to me about 15 years ago and said, "Can you do 3 sets of 10 pull-ups?" And he could, and I couldn't. I'd done 10, 6, and 4. So he started setting some challenges, and he'd been going to the gym, and I hadn't been going to the gym. I had a gym at home. So then, yeah, he took me to the gym, and he was doing 20 plates for 5 sets of 20. So I always remember the first challenges. He said you got to do 100 rep with a 20 plate, which took me a few months to do. So it was just a chasing game, chasing your strength, and obviously the feeling.
Yes.
You can't be, you know yourself, the endorphins that get released from, especially a leg session, for instance.
Yeah. If I don't go to the gym, I can. I think gym is really important for me, mentally and physically.
Yeah. To
keep me in the right place. Gym is something that it's essential for me to go to the gym. At one stage in my life, I've gone through a bit of hard time, and I'd say to anybody that feels like they're going through problems, gym can help. It really can.
Yeah.
Really can help, and you can go into the gym feeling down and depressed, and you can come out feeling just a little bit better. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
As I said,
I'd say the chemicals we need during the session are healing.
Yes, definitely.
And I'm one of these people that sometimes I don't put the headphones in. I kind of meditate. To say that when you're in the present moment, it's like being in meditation state. So when you're like playing a game of football or when you're working out, all you're thinking about is what you're doing. So you're not stressing about skills, not stressing about work.
Yes.
So I find it very therapeutic, and it's like meditation to me. I'll come out of the gym feeling great. Not that we're not depressive or anything, but just like that mindset. And when you don't do it, and you know yourself, if I took the gym away for 1 week from you, you wouldn't be who you are, would you?
100%. I completely agree with what you've said, and I think it adds a bit of structure to your life, and like you say, you go in and you just focus on whatever it is that you're doing in that session, and everything else kind of you can put it out your mind for an hour or 2 hours, however long you're in the gym, and then you get to come back in, and you've come back into normal life, and you've got all these good feelings from having accomplished something, from challenged yourself, from pushing yourself, and then you're able to apply that into other areas of your life as well, which is great.
Perfect.
Yeah. And I love how you guys have kind of gone through this journey together of, pushing each other in the gym, and it's almost a bit of a competitive energy between the two of you, and you push each other to be better. By the time you have decided that you want to step on stage, you guys have been at this for 12, 15 years, and you have already built this great physique where genetics maybe have a little bit to do with it. It's okay. Genetics maybe have a little bit to do with it, like you said, but it's a lot of hard work and time under the bar in the gym, doing what you need to do to develop such a great physique that you've come on and shown to be very successful from the start of your competing journey, which is great.
Well, we're lucky to have that because, as I said, Anthony's my older brother, and he's always pushed me. There's certain areas where I've been lacking, and he's helped me push forward in them areas. We've always been pretty close. So we are competitive, but we're competitive in a way where we push each other. We never ever push each other down.
As you can see, we wish the best for each other. But the key reason for this is we've seen it ourselves. There's a lot of brothers and sisters out there that actually hate each other and don't get along. You've seen it yourself. My mum and dad's Jamaican. My mum's a blondie. They've been together since they were 19. They're 63 now. So we're coming from a nice, tight-knit family. We have to be like this because can't let my parents sacrifice. That's not acceptable. Like for instance, we haven't been to prison because like my mum and dad. There's certain things we wouldn't do.
Yeah.
That's the reason we're so focused we're from a good family unit, which unfortunately,
Even though we didn't come from the best area.
yeah, where we're from, there's not a lot of people that have got a mum and I'm not saying we're from Brazil, like the ghetto, but we're from a place where like mum and dad together is not.
A lot of our mates
haven't got that, so that's why we're a little bit blessed in that area.
Well, appreciate it.
Do you feel like your love for sport has kind of, and like fitness has kept you focused as well as like the family structure that you have? But you know, you clearly are very active. You said you were doing football all of your childhood and stuff, and you had 6 packs, which doesn't come from nothing. So has that kept you grounded as well, do you think?
Definitely. I used to do a bit of boxing as well, like a lot of boxing training. And you know, I feel like with any type of sport, it teaches discipline, because you might think that you know, if you go into a boxing gym and you try and throw your weight around, there's always somebody that's going to knock it out, knock it, you know what I mean? So, as I said, I feel like sport has disciplined me as well. And it's given me a better attitude towards, you know, life. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely kept us, you know, more of a structure and a routine to what we're doing. Do you know what I mean?
I'd say it's in the army. I've met a few people recently that have come out of the army, and they've got a similar mindset to us. Even eating, you know, 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 7. I'm not missing my meals. I was saying to my brother the other day, since the Supernaturals last year, I haven't missed a gym session, neither has he. We've probably done extra gym sessions. So
our coach tells us to have more days off. He thinks that we overtrain.
Yeah. The work ethics a bit.
But as I said, I find it hard to rest, because sometimes, obviously, I've got 3 daughters and my missus. There's a lot of women in one house, so sometimes I have to get out. Do you know what I mean? And even if I just go and do my steps in the gym, and then I just come home, I find it hard not to go to the gym, to be honest. You know what I mean? But I find that when I do rest, I definitely get more gains, and I'm starting to listen to my coach, basically.
Yeah, because we're coming from a time, say 10 years ago, I don't even remember CT Fletcher and Mike Rashid.
Yeah.
So that's like, I watched Arnold and people like that. But before I used to go to the gym, I used to watch CT Fletcher, you know, grow, you know, these towers are to grow. And I believe in thoughts of reality. So we was overtraining before overtraining was a thing. Compound. So we used to compound, we used to be doing 10 sets. So when I watched CT Fletcher and I watched his physique, I thought we're on the right path. So we've always overtrained, and these days we're cutting back a bit, like 5 sets of 10. This is due to our coach, because he's just tweaking us.
Yeah.
So
Definitely working. Definitely works. Because obviously we've been training for so long, it's hard to get rid of bad habits.
Yeah.
And it's been hard to, like, certain things he's been telling me to do. I think, put the phone down. I don't get the logic. But when you actually try it, and you know, the proof's in the pudding. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
we've learned over the last year and a half. It's priceless information. Do you know what I mean? So as I said, overtraining problems.
I think for you guys as well, like for some people who are pretty new to training, it's good to learn how to train well from the start. But we've all been there, where you find a love for the gym and you enjoy doing it and you want to be there and you're getting a lot from it, and you maybe are overtraining a little bit. But when you get to the point that you guys are, where you've developed a lot of impressive musculature and you're trying to refine the physique and continue to grow when your body's already grown a lot, it becomes like trying to find the nuanced ways of getting any gains that you can get. That's when someone with a coaching background can maybe help point you in the right direction. But I'm sure that you guys are progressing lots. You eat well, I think, as well. So when you're eating lots and you're training lots, that tends to work well.
That's what I want to do down the line. We like to go into, because I think we eat different. I don't eat like, that's why I look like we look, like the way we look. I've got a few gems. And obviously I'm over 40, so if I win my next couple of competitions to get the ranking that I want, I would like to go into like advising over 40s.
Yeah.
How to properly, because I see some diets out there, they're good, but we've got some extra stuff that
with my brother, he's always eaten well. I lived with my brother for about a year.
Yeah, during COVID.
So during COVID, we moved house, and just as we moved house, COVID kicked in. So I went and lived with my brother for a bit, and that's when I realised how well he was eating and how rubbish I was eating. Literally in that year, like because obviously all the gyms were closed, we borrowed a bench from the guy over the road.
We got a bench for Small Leisure Centre.
Yeah, and that's where we just really, during COVID, we just every day, and I realised how I was eating. And when I started to eat like that, my physique literally, because I used to eat a lot of like rubbish. I used to eat like, you know, anything, McDonald's, KFC, the worst food. I didn't really understand. Even though I was training, I wasn't getting the physique, but my brother was really conditioned.
Well, he was very, very strong.
Very strong. I wasn't cut. And then when I started to eat my brother's diet, literally within like a month, I started to see new muscles. And so that's when I realized that diet really is, what would you say, 75%?
Yeah, it's a big part of it.
I think diet's 50% to 75% of, you know.
But in saying that, I've always had my coach has got us to think this way. I've always been like, they can out-eat me, but they'll never out-train me.
Yeah.
So we've always trained to another level, but now I'm realizing I can not cut back on I can cut back 20% of my training and put that extra 20% into the diet.
Yeah.
And one more thing that's golden, what's made a change for us, is having a coach, having somebody that's fighting for your best interest. Because there's not a lot of people out there, apart from your parents, that really want you to succeed in a certain area. So he's been the catalyst to success.
Yes.
The little tweaks he's made, which I wouldn't have made on my own. And to be honest, we would never ask people for help. We'd never go to the gym. People come up to us for advice, but we wouldn't go to them.
Yeah.
So no man's an island. That's what we've learned. And once you ask for help,
There's always
my
room
help
for improvement. Always room for improvement.
always.
I love that.
What was that?
I love that. I love the attitude that you guys have got. It's great.
Yeah, and what we do at the moment, there's a few things that we're doing to do with bodybuilding. One of them's this brand, Monster Vibrations.
Yes.
So we've got a brand going on now. We've just keep up with it. Just had
Nice.
So I've got some women's gym outfits, and the name Monster Vibrations says it all. That's a brand I made about 6 years ago, and I'm so patented. So now we're actually pushing that brand.
Amazing.
So go alongside with what we're doing with the fitness. Yeah.
That's great. So I guess I'm really interested to find out more about why you guys have been passionate about staying natural athletes, because I know there's a lot of pressure in gyms and in the bodybuilding community to look towards taking performance enhancing drugs. So why have you guys both decided to stay as natural competitors?
I'm going to start this and my brother's going to finish it.
Okay.
First thing I'd like to say, there's a stigma between natural athletes and assisted athletes. Personally, in my career, some of the best advice I've ever had training-wise and diet-wise come from assisted athletes. When I started gym, I didn't know what assisted athletes was. I was training, my legs are so big because I used to train with an assisted athlete and I never knew. And he used to push me to levels that were just ridiculous. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm not a natural that runs around bad-mouthing assisted athletes. That's their choice. Me personally, you probably know by looking at me, I would never, ever touch anything like that because there's too many side effects for me. And I don't want size, as in size. I'm happy with the frame God gave me, and I'll just build what He gave me. But a lot of guys are chasing a big monster physique, and that's what a lot of them have got. But we're not naturals that slag assisted athletes up, because I've got some great information off them over the years.
For me, it's just health risks. You know, it's something that's never really appealed to me, to be honest. Like, you know, coming from doing boxing training and stuff, it's just never really appealed to me. And as I said, like, it's not really the look that I get accused, to be honest. I get accused of, you know, being assisted. I've been accused a lot of times, and to be honest, it's pretty annoying because I feel like it takes away from the work that I have actually done. Do you know what I mean? So as I said,
it's a big compliment, biggest compliment you can have.
Yeah.
I just come back from Spain a few months back. I had 4 people ask me at a water park, and they were all on their assisted athletes. They come up to me each 3-4 times telling me, what am I on? I showed them my bag, had salmon, potato, broccoli, vegan protein shake, but they couldn't believe that I looked like I did naturally.
We can, to be honest, I think that you can, for any of the younger generation that are listening to this, you can build the physique you want without, you know, being enhanced. I really do believe that. I really believe if you stick to the diet and you're having enough, you know, protein, and you're sticking to your calories, and you're doing what you should be doing, you can get, you know, physique that you want. Another thing is, as I said, when I went to a couple of these shows, assisted shows, I think a lot of these guys, when they come off stage, do work all year round for this one day on stage, but I don't think they're that healthy, because when they come off stage, I noticed a lot of them were like really out of breath. And, you know, I felt like some of them literally just fell on the floor and started breathing, and they were breathing really heavy. And when I looked at him, it just didn't appeal.
I know, yeah.
Cardio was really.
Yeah, I did the PCAs about 5 months ago. I just booked it because I was 82 kg. I was like the biggest I've been, 82, 83, and I wanted to see my body up against them. And when I got there, there was 2 like world champions for the best in the game. I come 3rd out of 4, so I beat a 94 kg guy. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to beat an assisted athlete as a natural, and I wanted to see the pictures after and say I've done it. So
when I went to 2 Girls, the assisted athletes, yeah, there is a massive difference. There is muscularity wise, you know, it's hard to create that type of muscle when you're natural. Do you know what I mean?
What I'd say in saying that, when my brother was on stage the other day, what I noticed, the guy he was up against, he had a big physique, but there was so much more detail within my brother's back muscles. You know, like where they've got 1 muscle, he had 4. I'd rather see 4 muscles than see 1 big heavy muscle. And again, I'm not knocking them, but for me, it's natural all day. And I think natural. How can I say this? I've got a 13-year-old son, and he told me the other day, Dad, Ronnie Coleman was only trying to feed his family. That's why he took steroids. And my son was half justifying taking gear. Yeah, exactly. My next words were, if you ever took gear, Daddy would disown you. And it shocked him because I've never said that to him before. And he's 13. When he's 16, he will be doing a natural competition because he's a better version of me. You know, our kids are manifestations of what we would, I can't explain, some of our dreams and goals can come through them. You know what I mean? Like, they always say a father's son does what the father never done. Yeah, if he wants to. I've seen it on the internet recently. A lot of the guys in America, they're talking about, is it testosterone, growth hormone, how much they're taking a day, and they're putting this information out there. Now, I agree with educating the people, but a lot of 13-year-olds watching this,
you're in a different
taking it the wrong way.
I feel like a lot of the young kids, like Tim Joey aesthetic.
Yes.
And he was 30, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he passed away, didn't he?
Yes.
And, I feel like it's basically, yeah, I feel like natural bodybuilding should be
on the rise.
Yeah. And it's for me, it's the way forward. You know what I mean? As I said, with really saying that to you.
Yeah.
That's worrying.
Yeah, worried me.
As I said, you know,
it's a completely different sport. I think the untested side of of bodybuilding. You know, you're saying you go on and you see just a completely different look. And I agree with you, Tony. Like, I think that the detail and that you see in natural competitors is just much more aesthetically pleasing to me, and I love the natural support. But I think it is scary. I think that it's becoming almost normalized that people take performance enhancing drugs within the sport, and it takes people like yourselves to role model to the younger generation that what is possible as a natural bodybuilder, and stepping away from anything other than how that compares to anything else. It's a huge accomplishment, and you guys look incredible standalone, irrespective of what anyone else is doing.
I'd say already I've had about in the last 10 years, I've had about 8 young bodybuilders thinking about taking steroids, speak to me,
And me as well.
and they're not taking it now. And they're not taking it because of what I said to them. And when they saw me getting changed, I'm in the change room with my boxer shorts, they come in, wow, that's when the conversation starts. And I tell them I'm natural, and I tell them the side effects. And what I've seen, like, there used to be a saying, get big or die trying. I mean, like, you don't worship your life. Like, don't worship your blood, your genetics, your ancestors that lived before you and give you the opportunity to live as a human. And you want to get big or die trying. To me, you can't treat life like that. You got respect for life, respect yourself.
Yeah. It's totally, your health has got to be the most important thing, and doing this because it brings the best out of you. It's not life or death. It's a sport, and for a lot of us, it's a hobby at the end of the day. Like, really, it's something we do over on top of the rest of our life. And I'm glad that you've been able to have a positive influence on those guys that have come to speak to you. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who've seen you from afar and what you guys have achieved on the WNBF stage and on other natural stages, that they've been influenced in that way as well without ever having to speak to you.
Yeah, that word you said, my brother said it as well. I had it made it it brought a genuine, like, heartwarming smile to my face. After my last competition, I had 2 youngsters contact me and start cutting, and they're doing competitions because they've been watching me and saying, you can do it, I can do it.
There's a lot of
and we've got about 4 or 5 guys coming through now, and their physiques are tremendous.
Nice.
Like, they're gonna win.
Yeah, that's great.
To be part of that a little bit, and inspirational people telling me when we've done the Worlds. Right, I gotta say, my dad says this. My dad says, you don't walk around saying you're a champion. You don't walk around saying you're the best at something. People tell you who you are. So in a day, if 8 people said to you, you're inspirational, you possibly are inspirational. And that word, we've never had that before. Like, you're inspiring me to do what? To be a better person, to do this, to do that. So, like, that was something that came.
Gary with the WNBF, was
over 60s.
He was one of the people that inspired us to start training just by looking at our physiques. Start doing shows by looking at our physiques, saying, we can go and do a show in this category, because he knew more about bodybuilding than us. So we just try to do the same for people that we see who have got potential in the gym.
Yeah.
And we they'll come over to us and say, oh, you've got a good physique. And we say, well, actually, you've got a good physique.
You would be in this category.
You could do this, you could do that, you know what I mean? And then they go away and think, and then you'll see them a week and a half later, and they'll be like, I'm thinking about what he's saying, and I feel like show, and it's good to be able to do that and inspire people like that.
I've been sending them bodybuilders in their category, and then they message me back like, wow, he's the champion. I reckon I could challenge him, and I'm saying, oh no, you can. So that's fast. So
I love it. That's amazing. Let's talk about Worlds then. So you guys had an amazing 2022 season, both of you. What was it like to qualify for Worlds and to go out and do it in LA and together as well, which I imagine was a big part of it?
Oh, it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Trip of a lifetime. Well, you come first. Did you come first?
Yeah.
Supernaturals.
Yeah, I got first supernaturals, but I placed second at the Worlds, and my brother placed first.
Yeah, but Supernaturals, at the Supernaturals, I think that was my first show, wasn't it? Yeah. I placed third at the Supernaturals, and then obviously I got the invitation, to LA, and me and my brother thought, you know what, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. We get to fly out to LA. You know, even if we don't get a placement in the Worlds, you know, we knew levels would be high. So I was just happy I didn't really go there with much expectation. I just went there to compete and get some experience and just quite humble, to be honest. You know what I mean? Just wanted to experience LA. But to win just blew my mind. Like, I felt like it was a dream. Like, I woke up in the hotel and seen the pro card and stuff, and I just couldn't believe it. I was like, it's mine. Like, did actually win. But it was really...
I knew that he was going to cause big damage when he got there. I knew. Like, so I knew that he was going to do what he done.
I mean, I was happy for my brother as well. He came second. You know, I would have liked us both. To have won. That would have, you know, been great. But as I said, first and second, I was really happy with that. I was really proud of both of us. Do you know what I mean?
You both smashed it. Like, honestly, absolutely smashed it. Did you get a chance to watch each other, or were you both backstage at the same time?
When he was going on stage, he came to get me, like, wide-eyed, like, where are you? Come on, get back.
I kind of kick into this mode before I go onto stage, and I get a bit like, to fight my anxiety, I get a bit serious, but it's like, that's how I function to get the best out of myself. So I called him, he was like, what's wrong? I was like, nothing, just get back here. Get backstage.
So I went backstage and I got him an espresso coffee from the little coffee shop next door.
The Mexican coffee shop.
Mexican coffee shop. I gave him that. He ran into, I think it was the Chinese athletes circle, picked up their 20 dumbbells and just started curling them on a mad one. They were looking like their cameraman started filming him. So he just went off on one, like 100 press-ups.
Yeah, I think so. Caffeine
up, basically.
Caffeine up.
The Worlds was amazing, like you say, amazing experience.
Really good experience to see all the different countries and all the different type of physiques. It was just
be part of the GB team, meet people like yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Proud to be honest.
You know,
really
proud to be on the plane with you guys, and you know, have a T-shirt.
Be a part of something
with you know your country's flag on it, representing.
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah. And even to this day, like, you know, the recognition, even of people like you thought didn't even really know about bodybuilding, but even to this day, people will come and say, you know, you won the world champion. It's nice to be recognized for something good.
Yeah.
And, you know,
it really is.
Something, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
And we just started as well.
Yeah, to be honest,
first year.
There's a lot more coming. Like, we're really ready to work hard for the next
Yeah,
I'm ready to do this for the next 5 years.
I think I've done about 8 comps now, or 9, and I've got some lovely trophies at home. And I see them every morning. I'm actually talking to my parents' house, so like my mum and dad, because at first they thought I was a bit mad. They thought I was obsessed.
Yeah.
You know,
people do think you're obsessed with bodybuilding. It is kind of,
as you know,
I'm obsessed with sport. You have to look at yourself and that, and it's not like you know, you're obnoxious or anything, but it's like you have to check out, you know, your games and where you're at, and
to keep it
real.
real.
People around you, they can get a bit annoyed. Like my missus can get a bit annoyed sometimes if I keep, I need to drop this, or you know, I need to do this, and you know what I mean. So I understand people around can get annoyed with family members and stuff. So
but when you get results, then they start to understand why you do what you do. And even take our dad, like, because our dad won a deadlifting competition years ago. I don't know what federation it was. I don't even know if it could have been in a leisure centre. I don't know where it was, but he kind of tricked us when we went into gym with that philosophy that I am a deadlifting champion. So we do a lot of deadlifting squats. And we met one of our idols over in America. Charles Glass. What's the one called? The American guy. There's an American bodybuilder, and he's a pro. And when I was doing my posing,
pretty serious.
We have to big up Pose by Faye, our posing coach. Yeah. When we were doing our posing lessons, he said, I'm basing you off this guy in America, and one day you could possibly beat him. And when I went to America and me and Karl met him, he gave us compliments of our physiques, that we do deadlifting squats. Alberto, I think it is. Yeah, so New House, I think his name is. So
nice guy.
Lovely guy. He gave us compliments. We were like, a little bit starstruck.
For him to be confident, we looked at him like he was kind of like
What the best natural you get.
And then when we seen him, he was complimenting us, and we was like, oh,
yeah.
do you know what I mean? But,
Yeah.
I've seen some great physiques out there.
Badders, Nigerian champion, Badders. Badder Fitness.
Yeah.
People like him, look up to them guys.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You know.
Yeah. I know it's an amazing opportunity to go out and stand on the same stage as these people. Like you idolize them, you see them from afar, and then having the opportunity to go compete with them. And Karl, now you're going to be, next time you step on a WNBF stage, you'll be up there with them, up there with the pros.
Yeah, do you know what? I'll tell you what. I feel like I've worked. I feel like I've done everything I can possibly do within the time frame that I've had to build the best physique.
Yeah.
For me personally. So, as I said, I'm going to try and keep the same attitude because I'm going to Switzerland to do my pro debut.
Yeah.
So, as I said, I'm going to try and keep the same attitude I had for LA. I'm going to go there with no expectations. And just know that I've done my best, and whatever happens, I'll be happy. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just happy to you know, be even called a pro, to be honest. So I don't really look at myself as a pro yet. But as I said, after this show in Switzerland, we'll see how I do there, and then we can just go from there, you know what I mean? But I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to go over there with my missus. We might do a drive. We might do a little drive over there and do some sightseeing on the way.
Nice.
So let's make a trip out of it. See what
I'm being kicked to the curb on this trip. He's going to get a camper van.
Oh yeah.
Sending all the pictures. So
yeah, I was welcome to come if you want.
Yeah. The WNBF will do one in Germany in a few weeks. I've been invited to do that. I might go there and show my strengths, because I feel like I've got amends to make. And by the way, like taking third place the other day was, for me, very humbling. I wasn't happy at the time. I've learned from it. And you learn to listen to my coach, my personal, like, how can I say, my brother's a champion, but he's probably a bit more humble than me. I'm humble, but I go for first place all the time because I manifest it. I really believe in myself that much that I want that, and I train for it.
Yeah.
If I get second, I take it on the chin. But third place, it knocked me. I drove home and I was just quiet, and I reflected on it, and I know what to do now. So I'm back on it.
But that's only because of the work that you put in as well. That's why you know, expected it more.
Yeah, I expect a lot, and this sometimes you don't get what you want. So again, humbly, I need to be humble.
For me, the reason why I don't say I want to go for first all the time is because I don't like to set myself up for disappointment.
Yeah,
I just like to, like, you know.
That's my mindset. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't like to set myself up for disappointment because then I'll be upset. Do you know what I mean? But as I said, if I just go there with no expectations, then I feel like I don't get it.
And bring your best.
Yeah,
that's because I always say this about competition. Like coming up to comps, you'll probably know this online. The people that are competing against you, I see them on my Instagram timeline. They're watching me, and I never watch anybody that I'm competing against because I'm in competition with me. 2 weeks to the competition, I'm on my food. I'm looking in the mirror at me, just me. What am I bringing to the table? That's all I care about. And if I'm bringing 9 out of 10, you should be okay.
Yeah, you'll be great. So, Karl, you're doing Switzerland. You're going to Germany, Tony. Yeah.
You've got the BNBF. You've got Supernaturals in 3 weeks' time. Then there's a final BNBF in Germany, which Gary's convinced me to go with because Gary's got through to it as well.
Yeah.
And Corey, I mentioned our guy Corey.
Yeah.
And
Corey's the classic.
Corey's the classic. I call him the classic king. And I was with him a few weeks ago, and he came third. This guy, like, is he doing Supernatural? He's doing Supernatural.
Oh, you see him there,
and he worked that hard, and he beat that guy that made him third, and he got first. And so I've got a lot of respect for him because he was backstage, and I could see that I could see him overthinking things.
Yeah.
And third, he's come back. Got two. Got the IFBB the other day. Got first, and he got first in BNBF. And I'm sure he'll get first in the WNBF.
You know what? He's really good.
really good. So
It's exciting.
we've got a good camp, good team.
Yeah.
And
we've got Desi.
and we've got our good friend who trains at the sport, Desmond.
He's like our brother.
He's like our brother.
He's training with us for the same amount of time.
Yeah, he's been training the same amount of time. He didn't really want to go into a show because that just wasn't for him. But because he's got such a great physique,
he's going to do.
We've all been on his back.
Tall men's physique.
Tall men's physique.
We've been doing it supernatural. So
And you've been another guy from our gym called Baz, Big Baz. So there's 6 of us from Emporium coming to the Supernaturals, and we're all bringing hard work and rips and shreds. So it should be interesting.
It sounds like there's something to watch coming from Emporium. I'm excited. I'll be shouting for you. It's awesome. And are your eyes set on Worlds again this year, guys, or are we? If
we'll see what happens for me personally, and we'll see what happens in Switzerland. But as I said, if I get the invite, I'll definitely be in Seattle.
Yeah, me too. Tony?
John Nicholson, I think he runs it.
No, he said when we met him last year.
Yeah.
He's a really nice guy. He works for the WNBF.
I think he's one of the judges at the WNBF. He's part of the organisation organising that. Yeah. And he told us to make sure we come over to that event. Yeah. Lovely man. And by the way, WNBF. I've been to a few federations. I would never knock any federation. WNBF, definitely love them. Open the door. No favoritism. They just deal with. If you're good, you're good. If you're not, you're not. You get ranked on your capability and what you bring to the stage. And I did see no politics.
Shout out to Steph and Andy as well. They've done a lot of work and give me a lot of good advice in LA as well. Priceless advice they give me in LA.
And Dave, who does men's health.
Yeah, Dave.
I call Dave the organizer. Because it was you and him that were organising our food, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I saw you on stage with a microphone in the last show, and I saw him with a microphone. I thought you got the right people speaking there.
Oh, we're at Supernaturals. We're coming, both of us. We're going to do the same. Super. Yeah. And I'm going to come to Seattle to support you all if he's come. So you'll
get through. If I qualify, I'm there. We'll be there.
Yay. Amazing.
I'm not, as I said, we've worked I feel like I've worked all year, and when I'm in that condition, because I find it hard sometimes with dieting to get down to that last little. I'm doing it right now. I'm 75 kg now. I've got to get to 73, 72 for me to show the best of my physique, and it's hard for me to get past that 75 kg. It's like my barrier where I have to really suffer. My steps are up to like 20,000 a day. So if I do 10,000 steps a day, I can't get what I want out of my physique. So I've really got to push it now. And then while I'm in that condition, I'm going to try and hold that condition and bring it to Seattle. But I can only be in that condition for a month or two before it starts to leave me. So I'm looking to just peak and stay there for a bit. And then next year, I'm just, to be honest, all I've been thinking about is just food.
Yeah.
I'm hungry now, right now.
All I can think about when I'm training is food. When I go to bed at night, food. That's it.
But that's the discipline, though.
Yeah, that's the discipline.
And that means you're getting lean. That means you're getting real lean.
Everybody does competition. You just train.
Yeah.
This is the hard bit.
Yeah. You're gonna suffer.
Yeah. It'll pay off, I'm sure. So guys, to finish off today, what advice would you have for the competitors that are coming into Supernaturals that would love to get to Worlds? What advice would you have for them? Show day.
Say, enjoy the moment. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Let's say if you've got the base to do a show, I'd say the first thing you could do is get a coach. If you want to do a show, you need to get a coach to, so at least you can learn off them and they can guide you towards what category. Also, you need a coach, and you need a posing coach, because our posing coach literally told us when we went there, told us what category he thought we would do good in. So I feel like that's the first step. The first step is finding out what category you want to do, and then basically start working towards that category. But as I said, training for me is 50-50 with diet and training. The diet is a massive part of it for me. And if you can diet, you've got 50% of it done. That's the hardest bit for me personally, is the diet. I love training, but training depleted is a whole different thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then people will be like, "You're all right," like you look at me like ill. Do you know what I mean? When I get depleted, I get these black marks under my eyes, and then if I take my top off, you'll be like, "Yeah, you're all right." But if I have my top off, you'll be like, "You okay?" You look like you lost a bit of weight.
I'd say what my brother's saying there is that's before a show.
Yeah.
So that's athletes getting ready before a show. But I'd say on the day of a show, a major thing you can do, this is what I done. My first show, I didn't talk too much backstage. Second show, talk to the other athletes. You'll learn so much off them.
Yeah.
They'll ease your mind.
Yeah.
At the Worlds, we was walking around to pros that were nervous, saying, "Mate, why you look nervous? You look great." And they were saying to us, "Sure, do I?" They were unsure of themselves, but we were laughing that some people could be in such great condition and be so insecure.
That's why they're looking at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're looking at competitors, worth saying.
Sometimes you look at your competitors and that.
Yeah. But everybody we told was going to win, everybody we said, "Mate, you've got this," they actually got first place. And they didn't think they was going to before the show. So I'd say backstage to ease your nerves, talk to other athletes, and you'll learn so much. Don't sit there in your corner, with your legs up with your headphones on, in your own little box. Save that for when you've done 8 competitions and you're a pro.
Yeah.
But if you go there and you're new to it, you've got to talk to people.
And what you'll find is when, like I said, even when we went to LA, I found there's people out there like us,
same mindset,
like-minded people that, like, that's like if you have a cheat meal or something, you've got to tell somebody because you feel guilty.
Yeah.
You know, and I found like a lot of people were doing this. You know what I mean? Like, you meet a lot of like-minded people at these shows, and it was good to do that. You know what I mean? It's good to meet people that are on the same page as us.
Meet people that are on 40 grams of fat a day. Don't see them over 36, about 36 grams, yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think that's great advice, because you're so right. Like, it's one time you're going to be surrounded by people that are literally on the same goal as you, at the same time as you. They're peaked at the same time as you. They've been prepping for a similar amount of time. So make the most of it. Ask for advice, ask for guidance, just make some connections and speak to people. I do think it helps with the nerves thing as well, when you realise that you're just sitting next to other people who are really like you. It's not sort of superhuman people that you can't have any connection with.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'd say some of the best advice I got was off some of the over 60s, over 50 bodybuilders.
Yeah.
They made me not drink water. They made me had certain foods, 3 different types of carbs I was going to have. They told me what would suit me and why. Tried and tested. They've done it. They've been there.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I listen to them? So yeah, just talk backstage and you'll meet like-minded people, and you actually make really good friends as well.
Yeah, I feel like you can never stop.
100%.
Like, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn with natural bodybuilding. And it is. I think it's science. A lot of it is science as well. You know, like when some of these things that my coach tells me to do, I'm like, that is science, and that is like, you know, tuning the body. Yeah, so it's good to see the end result. Like, because obviously I've been I bulked and I went up to 87, and obviously I'm 75 now. But when I went up to 87, I've never been that strong before. Like what I was lifting just felt I just felt good. Do you know what I mean? But as I said, now I'm coming back down, and this is the first time I've ever bulked, to be honest. Yeah, so now I'm coming back down. I'm seeing new muscles, and it's nice. It's a good experience to have actually done that and then come back down and see what I've built. I can't explain. Like, it's the light at the end of the tunnel. I've worked so hard this year, putting on all the weight, and now I've just been chopping it off, and I can actually see now. And I'm not there yet, but I can see what I've worked all year for, and that is a good feeling in itself. You know what I mean?
And to live that lifestyle, I was bulking, but I wasn't bulking like my brother was bulking. He did it fully properly, like he did it properly. It's not easy. it's a lifestyle, and it's like consistency on another level. Like every couple of hours, you need to get a certain amount of calories and a certain amount of protein in your body, and that goes on for 8 months, 12 months. Don't stop. So I don't think people realize how dedicated you really have to be to do this. Even and we're both hard-headed, stubborn, so that's why it suits us, don't it?
Even like what the calories, like my calories went up quite high. And at first I was struggling to get the food down. I couldn't eat it. And then like every time I was eating, I was falling asleep. Afterwards, my body was just like, oh, it's too much food. You know what I mean? But after a couple of weeks, I got used to it. And my strength just went off the winter scale. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was nice to try something different and go up to that type of weight, but I don't think I was comfortable walking around that, 87 kg. I'm naturally like 79 kg, naturally walking around, you know what I mean? But it's nice to do that and try something different. So yeah.
And another beautiful thing I'd say, I noticed this the other day. Well, when I first started gym, and I'd say I was probably 11 stone. I was quite slim, and I used to look up at these guys and think, wow, I'd love to have strength like you guys. And now, when we walk into the gym, I get the respect that big man used to get. I'm now the big man, but in my head, I'm still not that big man, but I am. Because people, so yeah, I've got the respect that I used to have for guys in the gym, but now I've got it, which is
obviously we're small. We've always been small.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's because you've earned it. It's just time in the game. You've done what you need to do consistently every day, day in, day out, and you've earned that strength and you've earned that respect.
What I was going to say, one more thing as well, sorry. Natural bodybuilding. Am I right in saying it's on the uprise? It has to be, yeah?
Yeah.
Because due to like assisted and all that, the health implications. Yeah. You got people like Wilco, Wilco?
Yeah.
Wilco. I was at the overalls with him on my first show. He's a youngster with an amazing physique. He's like a pinnacle of being a natural athlete.
He's 90,
he's 90, I think he's about 90. Yeah. So people like him, I was on stage with him. And 90. I saw him the other day at a show. And when he comes back, he's going to cause big problems. But you've got a lot of ambassadors, such as yourself, as well. A lot of ambassadors out there now. Hopefully, we can be Birmingham ambassadors for the sport. But there's a lot of people out pushing the levels and showing, like, here we are.
It shows at this gym as well how many new natural bodybuilders are coming through. And I think this is just a start. I really do. Like, I feel like even JP with the JB Fitness, there's a lot of guys here that are coming down from bigger physiques, and they've got some seriously dense muscle.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be like
they're coming from that shape. Yeah. But 3 this week, actually, 3 guys have spoken to me about competing. I want to walk away from them laughing. I'm going, mate, when you strip, you know what you're going to be showing. So
exciting.
Josh Wolf, our coach, can't commend him enough. He's a good man, and he's basically changed a lot of people's lives. Very intelligent. You can ask him anything, any time of the day. He'll find the answer for you. So we've been
actually, he's going to show him.
And Josh going to show our coach as well.
Yeah.
He doesn't look at the end. I think he got second.
Brilliant.
Yeah, he got second.
That's great.
WNBF, sorry, got second. So hats off to you.
I am so excited to see you both back on stage. So hopefully I see you in Worlds, Karl. I'm really hoping for that. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you at Supernaturals, Tony. And we can see you backstage as well, Karl. You're going to help out backstage at Super.
I'm looking forward to that, really.
But I tell you something, he's not oiling me up. Don't get him on the tanning.
Okay, no tanning for Karl. We'll find another job for you.
Don't put him on the cooking store.
I was going to say, put me on the cooking store.
With the protein.
There you go, cookie stall. All right, guys, thank you so much for talking with me today. I'm sure a lot of our listeners are going to get so much value from this episode. And thank you to everyone listening along at home. We're going to be back in a few weeks' time with episode 18 of the WNBF UK podcast. Until then, you can enjoy any of our previous episodes on Spotify or YouTube. Have a great few weeks, guys. This has been the WNBF UK podcast.
Check out CNP, our sponsors, and sign up for our events at WNBFUK.com.